ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं भरते कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रुतजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ओम श्री परमात्मने
आत्मने नमः।
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच।
श्रीभगवानुवाच।
Shloka number 42, the last shloka of the chapter. Let us read Sangati. Yasmat karma yoga anushthanaat
यस्मात्
यस्मात्
कर्मयोगानुष्ठानात्
कर्मयोगानुष्ठानात्
ashuddhikshaya hetuka jnana sanchinna samshayah
अशुद्धिक्षय हेतुः संशयः
न निबध्यते कर्मभिः
न निबध्यते कर्मभिः
ज्ञानाग्निदग्ध कर्मवत् कर्मत्वात् एव
ज्ञानाग्निकर्मत्वादेव
यस्माच्च
यस्माश्च
ज्ञानकर्मानुष्ठान विषये
ज्ञानकर्मानुष्ठानविषये
संशयवान् विनश्यति।
संशयवान् विनश्यति।
तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृत्स्थं ज्ञानासिनात्मनः
तस्मात् ज्ञानसम्भूतं संज्ञानसिनात्मनः
चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत।
चित्वैनं संशयं आतिष्ठ भारत।
इति श्रीमहाभारते
इति श्रीमहाभारते
शतसाहस्र्यां संहितायां
शतसाहस्र्यां संहितायां
वैयासिक्यां
वैयासिक्यां
भीष्मपर्वणि
भीष्मपर्वणि
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु
ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे
ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
कर्मयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
कर्मयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
तस्मात् पापिष्ठम् अज्ञानसम्भूतम् अज्ञानाद् विवेकात् जातम्
अज्ञानात् विवेकात् जातम्
हृत्स्थं हृदि बुद्धौ स्थितम्
बुद्धौ स्थितम्
ज्ञानासिना शोकमोहादिदोषहरं सम्यक् दर्शनं ज्ञानम्
शोकमोहादिदोषहरं सम्यक् दर्शनम्
तदेव असि हि खड्गः
तदेव असि खड्गः
तेन ज्ञानासिना आत्मनः स्वस्य आत्मविषयत्वा संशयस्य।
आत्मविषयस्य
Nahi parasya samshayah
नहि
नहि
परस्य
संशयः
parena chetavyatam praptah
परेण
परेण
चेतव्यतां
चेतव्यतां प्राप्तः
yena svasyeti visheshyet
येन
येन
स्वस्येति
स्वस्येति
विशेष्येत
विशेष्येत
atah atma vishayah api
अतः
आत्मविषयेऽपि
आत्मविषय अपि
swasyaiva bhavati
तस्यैव
स्वस्यैव
भवति
चित्वा येनं संशयम्
चित्वा हीनं संशयम्
स्वविनाशहेतुभूतम्
स्वविनाशहेतुभूतम्
योगं सम्यक् दर्शन उपायम्
योगं
सम्यक्
सम्यक् दर्शनोपायम्
कर्मानुष्ठानम्
कर्मानुष्ठानम्
आतिष्ठ
आतिष्ठ
कुरु इत्यर्थः
गुरु इत्यर्थः
इत्यर्थः
उत्तिष्ठ च
उत्तिष्ठ
उत्तिष्ठ च
इदानीं युद्धाय भारत इति
इदानीं युद्धाय भारत इति
यस्मात् कर्मयोग अनुष्ठानात् हेतु पंचमी कर्म कर्मणः योगः कर्मयोगः कर्मयोगस्य अनुष्ठानं कर्मयोगानुष्ठानं तस्मात् यस्मात् कर्मयोग अनुष्ठान तस्मात् is there in the shloka. Therefore Bhashyakara says he connects, he's saying yasmat is equal to yataha tataha yasmat, since karma yoga anushtanat, by following, by doing, by the performance of karma yoga. What is the role of karma yoga? What does it do? That becomes a hetu for the removal of ashuddhi in the form of raga dvesha. Therefore, ashuddhi kshaya hetuka jnana sanchinna samshayaha. Jnana sanchinna samshayaha referring to the person. Jnanena sanchinna samshayaha. Sanchinnam samshayam yasya. Yena saha sanchinna samshayaha. Katam jnanena. Therefore, jnana sanchinna samshayaha referring to the person, one who has removed, destroyed the doubts. Katam jnanena. And how does this jnana arise? What is the hetu? Ashuddhikshaya. The whole thing is one word. The whole, but in that, Ashuddhikshaya hetuka is connected to jnana. And jnana sanchina samshayaha, the whole word referring to the person. So it's, but Ashuddhikshaya hetuka connected to jnana. This type of connection, Anvaya, is called Ekadesha Anvaya. Ashuddhehe kshayaha ashuddhikshayaha. Ashuddhikshayasya hetuhu, Satubhaguri Samasa. Ashuddhikshaya hetuhu, Ashuddhikshayaha, 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 Ashuddhehe kshayaha, Ashuddhikshayaha. Ashuddhikshayasya atava kshayanam hetuhu jnanam. So Ashuddhikshaya, the cause for the removal of Ashuddhi in the form of Raga Dvesha. So the cause is Jnanam. So it is connected to Jnanam. And Jnanena samchinnaha samshayaha yasya. That person. So Jnana sanchinna samshayaha, that person. Na nibadhyate, is not bound by karma. So Karma Yoga becomes the means for the removal of Raga Dvesha. So, therefore, Ragadvesha Nivritti happens, therefore, Jnanam rises. That is, Jnanam rises means not by Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga played the role of removing the Ashuddhi, that is a Pratibandha, Pratibandha Nivrittihi, and Shravana Manana Nididhyasanena Nishtaya Jnanam. And the Jnanam removes all sorts of doubts. The doubt regarding whether this Jagat is Mithya va Satyam va, all sorts of doubts, beginning with this, the reality, what the person attribute to this Jagat, and also mokshaha katam siddhyati jnanena va karma yogena va. That is a big doubt always will be annoying the mind of the sadhaka. Like in the Gita itself, if you see the third chapter, Arjuna asked Bhagavan, that the chapter begins with the question, Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana, tatkim karmani ghore mam niyo jayasi keshava. The entire second chapter having listened to, with that Gita is completed, over. The teaching is completed. Both karma yoga and jnana yoga taught. But Arjuna is asking, if knowledge is better than karma, then why do you ask me to engage in this war? So it means he has not understood mokshaha jnanena va karmana va iti samshayaha. And Bhagavan explained third chapter, fourth chapter, again fifth chapter. The next chapter is going to ask the same thing, but the words are different. Same question is put in a different words. Not only in the fifth chapter, again in the 18th chapter also, at the end of the Gita also, he asks the same question. In the fifth chapter, he asks a question, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna, punar yogam cha shamsasi. Yachreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. You tell me one thing for sure, which is better, karma yoga or jnana yoga? So is there any choice between karma and jnana? Karma is the parampara karanam. Karma is the hetu for the removal of ashuddhi, kshaya, hetuhu. Therefore, karma is important. Karma is indispensable for a sadhaka, because through karma yoga only ashuddhi nashaha bhavati. There is no other way of preparing the antakaranam, developing the adhikaritvam, jnana yogyata. So therefore, and also the Shruti Vakyas are that, and also Viveka Chudamani also, Bhagavan, Shankar Bhagavad Pada says, Vastu Jnanam Jnanena Eva Siddhyati. Natu Karmanava Pranayamena, Atava by Upasanaya, by any other sadhana, moksha is not gained, for which jnanam is the only means. But in spite of having taught this doubt, whether this moksha is by jnanam or karma, karma seems to be difficult, and that too for Arjuna, being in the war, it's not an easy thing. Jnanam seems to be easy. Therefore, if moksha is only through jnanam, then why can't I take up the moksha marga directly? I can skip karma. If that is so, then Veda Anta should be at the beginning of the Veda. Why it is at the end? That's the reason. Positional. The positional name. It is located at the end. So Veda Purva deals with karma at the beginning. So it means the life begins with karma. By doing karma, one gets the pakvata, the maturity, the yogyata. In course of time, the person ripens. and becomes ready for the pursuit of jnanam, and that is Vedanta. So that is how the systematically everything is arranged, not by chance. That is how the scheme of things. So therefore, this doubt will be that the doubt is also cut, removed. Jnanena sanchina samshayaha. And by jnanam, once you have jnanam, then karma cannot bind you. There is no other means to be free from karma. Only a jnani is free from karma. In spite of doing, is not bound. In spite of doing, is doesn't do. Kurvannapi na karoti. In so many words in the same chapter we saw. Kurvannapi na karoti. Karmanya karmayah pashyat akarmani cha karmayah. Saha buddhiman manushyeshu. Kurvannapi na karoti. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Sarvam karma khilam partam partha jnane parisamapyate. So in so many words, Bhagavan has said, Samagram karma praviliyate. So therefore, these doubts, all these doubts, and this is the biggest doubt that goes away in the wake of jnanam. And that person is no more bound by karma, karma bhigina nivadyate. Therefore, jnanagni dagda karmatvat eva. Jnanam eva agnihi jnanagnihi. Jnanagnina dagdani karmani, samastani karmani, all the karma are destroyed. All the sanchita karmas are destroyed. And karma which is done before jnanam and after jnanam, what will be done, that also will not accrue to the jnani. Prarabdha kshayateva jivanam chalati. Therefore, jnanagidharma karmatvateva. Jnanagidagda karma tasya bhavaha jnanagidharma karmatvam tasmat jnanagdi karmatvat. The hetu for karma bhigina nibadyate is jnanagidagda karmatvat eva. Karma bhigina nibadyate is not bound by the jnanam. Jnanam is compared to Agni, which burns the karma. Because of that, tasmat, the status of being, the status of karma being burnt by the fire of knowledge, because of it, the jnana sanchina samsya, that person, the jnani, na nibadyate karma bihi, not bound by karma. Tasmat, therefore, ismacha, because it, since this being so, therefore, jnana karma anushtana vishaye, one should not doubt. If a person doubts, samshayavan vinashyati, a doubting Thomas will perish. He will keep on doubting. Karmanava mokshaha jnanenava iti. So therefore, a doubting person will not get this knowledge. Therefore, spiritually, he gets destroyed. Therefore, jnana karma anushtana vishay, with regard to the vishaya saptami, jnana karma anushtana vishay, with regard to the subject matter regarding the performance of jnanam, practicing jnanam, taking up the sadhana of jnanam and karma anushtana, the person having doubts will perish. Therefore, tasmat, that is a big tasma. This is really a big tasma. Therefore, because at the end of the chapter, having taught, now Bhagavan says tasma. Therefore, it means whatever I taught, you understand, Arjuna. Therefore what? So, jnanena eva mokshaha, jnanena, all the karmas are destroyed. Therefore, Bhagavan doesn't ask Arjuna to take up the jnana sadhanam, shravanam, manana, nididhyasana. No. Therefore, yogam atishta. Why? Because karma yoga is the means for preparing oneself. Without self-preparation, one cannot know the self. That's why he says, yogam atishta. Arjuna is being a kshatriya endowed with the shurata, the valor, and he has been waiting for this time to fight with the Kauravas and get back the kingdom. So therefore, he is endowed with a lot of rajas. Asking him to pursue jnanam will be destructive for Arjuna. He has to make himself ready for jnanam. Therefore, yogam, karma yogam atishthaiti upadesha. So therefore, there should not be any confusion with regard to the means which have to be taken by Arjuna, not only Arjuna, all of us. That's why tasmat. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Born of ajnanam, and that is hristam, hridi tishtati. Jnanasina atmanaha samshayam chitva. Having cut the samshaya, the doubt, with regard to the atma, atmanaha. With regard to atma, and that is the samshaya, it is ajnana sambhutam. Samshaya also ajnana sambhutam. Samshaya is also born of ajnanam. That is also a product of ajnanam. So ajnanam, ignorance, the doubt is there. Doubt means that is implies the doubt is a product. It implies ajnanam is there. Because jnani will not have any doubt. What doubt he will have? The jnani is free. He knows. He has the clear vision of atma, himself, self-knowledge he has. So what doubt he will have? He's doubtless. So ajnanam is there means it implies the person is, if the samshayam is there, it implies the person is ajnani. Ajnani is ajnanam. Therefore, samshaya is also a product of ajnanam only. Because of this, because of samshaya, therefore only is prevented from enjoying this jnanam, in spite of listening to the shastram. Means the buddhi has not absorbed the teaching properly. There is some obstacle in the form of the samshaya. So therefore, it is also a papam only. So Bhagavan, the Bhashakara says, papishtam. He says samshaya is papishtam. It's a papa. Some durita. Because of some durita, therefore, this samshaya is an obstacle. That is also an obstacle. The doubt with regard to the Atma, oneself. Gaining the Atma, the means to gain oneself, whether it be karma or jnana, that is the biggest obstacle. Because if it is through karmana, then dharma, artha, kama, purusha, artha, all will get validity in gaining oneself. By dharma, artha, and kama, it means the more artha you will have, the more free you will be. It is not so. The more kama you enjoy, the more free you will be. It is not so. The more punya you gather, the more free you will be. No. How much punya? Because anything you gather, collect, it's going to be limited. So anything we collect, that cannot remove the sense of limitation. It is going to be limited only. So therefore, freedom is not by gaining anything. It has to be you. So it should be the nature of the self. It should be nature of Atma. Therefore, it is not by gaining. It is not apraptasya prapta vishayaha. It is praptasya praptaha. Gaining the already gained. It means it is the subject matter for knowing. If it is gaining, what you gain is subject to loss. Why? Because it is gained. Anything you gain is subject to loss. Nothing stays forever. So dharma, artha, kama, that is why they are parichinna purusharthaha. They will not give the sense of fulfillment. It gives only relative sense of fulfillment. Any amount of dharma, artha, and kama will not make the person free. It makes the person relatively free. Sargalokaha Amritatvam Bhajante in Kathopanishad, Achiketa says that Amritatvam is not Atyantika, it is Apekshika Amritatvam. It is relative immortality, not absolute immortality. People live in Sargaloka for long. How long? Compared to human life, they live long. But it also comes to an end. After Punya, Kshaya, one has to Kshine Punya, Matyalokam Vishanti. So one cannot escape from samsara. It is limited only. So therefore, what is that Purushartha by which the person enjoys absolute freedom? That is moksha, and that is in the form of jnanam, and that jnanam is with regard to oneself, jnanam with regard to Atma, agam brahmatma iti jnanam, jnanena eva. That is moksha. With regard to that, samshayaha na kartavya. Therefore, jnanasina atmana samshayam chitva, and that is hristam, hridaye, hridaye titam, chitva, yogam atishta. May you take to yoga. What yoga? Karma yoga. Because karma yoga gives the pakvata, the maturity to give the maturity to observe, give the maturity to receive jnanam. Because the Shravanam will not fructify in the person who is not prepared. The land has to be sufficiently tilled, watered, and should have sun so that the seed, the bija which is sowed, will sprout. But the land is not yet prepared. Just you sow the seed will not sprout. So Karma Yoga is like tilling the land and sowing the seed, pouring water, etc. Therefore, without preparation, without cultivating the Adhikaritvam, Jnanam is not possible. Without Jnanam, Moksha is not possible. Therefore, Yogam Attishta Bharata iti, Bhagavan says very clearly. Therefore, there is no doubt. Without Bhashyakara, without the teaching in the tradition, if you read the shloka and go by the literal reading, then one may get doubt. Therefore, Yoga Matishta, therefore Karma Yoga Matishta, Jnana Yoga Matishta, because Jnanam is the tool, Jnanam is the means by which Ajnanam is destroyed. Therefore, Jnana Yoga Matishta, that meaning can be taken. But that is not the meaning in the context. We have to see the context. The context here is the student is Arjuna, who is in the war, in the midst of the war. So to him, how can Bhagavan teach? You take to Jnana. Jnana means sannyasa. That is what Arjuna has been asking all these times. Want to give up everything and run to Rishikesh. So, but here that is not, that yoga is not Jnana yoga, it is Karma yoga. Therefore, Karma yogam atishta bharata uttishta, get up and fight. Iti Sri Mahabharate, Shatasahasrayam Samhitayam, that is Mahabharata is referred to. Shatasahasra. Shata is 100, Sahasra 1000. So 100,000 means 1 lakh. 1 lakh shlokas are there in the Mahabharata. Tasyam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam. Vaiyasikya is Vyasena Proktaha. It's a Tadita word. Vaiyasiki. What is Vaiyasiki? It is Srilinga, because Gita is Srilinga. So Vaiyasiki. Gita being Srilinga, therefore Vaiyasiki. Vyasena Prokta Gita Vaiyasiki. Tasyam Vaiyasikyam Gitayam. Where it is located? In the Mahabharata, in the Bhishma Parva. 25th Parva, if I remember. 25th to 42 Parva. 18 chapters. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so Upanishadsu. Every chapter is an Upanishad. That is why Bhagavachanam, Upanishadsu, Bhagavachanam. Gita, so how many Gitas are there in the Bhagavad Gita? The entire thing is called Gita. Only one Gita. Why Bhagavachanam Gita? So should it not be Gita Yam? Every chapter is an Upanishad. Except the first chapter, it's an introduction. Therefore, 17 Upanishads. One Gita is equal to 17 Upanishads. Therefore, Bhagavachanam Gita, so Upanishadsu. And Brahma Vidya, it is Yoga Shastra, Karma Yoga Shastra. Therefore, it is the essence of the entire Veda. Both Veda Purva and Veda Anta are present. So Brahma Vidya as well as Yoga Shastra, and that is in the form of Sambhada, dialogue, constructive dialogue, Sambhada, neither Vada nor Jalpa nor Vitanda. It is in the form of learning by the student from the teacher. Therefore, Sambhada, Sambhade, Karma Yoga. The chapter is Jnana Karma Sannyasa. Jnana Karma, Karma Yoga iti here given. Any name we can give because these are all added later. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga Nava Chaturtaha Adhyayaha, fourth chapter. Then the Bhashyam Tasmat Papishtam. Papishtam. Papishta is Ishtan Pratyaya, the most, the Papa. Tasmat Papishtam, the cause for the suffering, great suffering, is Ajnanam only. Ajnana Sambhutam. Ajnana Sambhutam. Tasmat Papishtam. Papishtam is he. Papishtam here it is Samshaya. Ajnana Sambhutam Papishtam. Ajnana Sambhutam, Ajnana Samyak Bhuyate. Samyak Bhavati. What? Samshaya. Samshaya, that's why I said Samshaya is also a product of Ajnanam only. And that is Papishtam. Why? Even a little of doubt will prevent a person from enjoying the Jnana Palam. It should be doubtless. One cannot drink the cup of milk with a little doubt whether lizard has fallen into it. The doubt is that when we throw it. Therefore, even a little doubt. So Papishtam. So Papishta, that Samshaya, that's why Samshaya is called Papishtaha. Tasma Samshayam, Papishtam. Papishtam here, it's an adjective, Visheshanam for Samshaya. Ajnana Sambhutam. Ajnana Sambhutam, what is Ajnana Sambhutam? The Samshaya. And Samshaya is qualified by Papishtam. And it is born of it is born of Ajnanat. Ajnanat is equal to Avivekat. Born of Aviveka, not able to or not thinking properly. Incorrect thinking. Na Viveka Jatam. Aviveka Jatam. Avivekat Jatam Samshayam. Jatam, the word also is Avivekat Jatam. Ajnanam is equal to Aviveka. Ajnana Jatam, Aviveka Jatam. That is Ajnana Sambhutam. What? Samshaya. And that is Papishta. Where it is located? Hristam, Hridi, in the heart, not in the physical heart. Physical heart is a Golaka for the Buddhi, according to Shastram. Brain is not the Golaka. Brain is not the Golaka for the Buddhi. Buddhi is located in the Hridaya. This is according to the Shastram. Even Ramana Maharshi says in the book, talks with Ramana Maharshi that the spiritual heart is located at the right side. He refers to some text which is not mentioned in the book, but he says, anyway, that is, Buddhi is in the heart. So therefore, Hristam, not only here, many places we see Buddhi Guha Yam, Hriday Guha, Yo Veda Nigitam, Guha Yam, Parame Vyoman. Nigitam, in the Guha Ya, Buddhi is compared to Guha. Why? Because it is like the Guha, it is dark. Because of Ajnan, therefore it is dark. In that it is hidden, as though Atma is located there. Located there means it is not confined by the Buddhi, Upadhi. It is Atma, it is pervades the entire body, not only the entire body, the entire world. It is Upalabdhisthana. It is obtained there. Even though the light is everywhere, as it is since it is reflected in the mirror. Similarly, the Atma is Sarvavyapi. Its Upalabdhisthanam is the Buddhi Guha, therefore, the Buddhi Guha, the expression is there. So, Buddho Stitam in the Hridaya, Buddho, Hridi Stitam, what? This doubt also. That is why Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi, Siddhyante Sarva Shamshayaha. It is Mundakopanishad, we saw. So, that Buddho Stitam, Hridi Stitam, this Ajnana Rupam Samshayam, Ajnana Sambhutam Samshayam, Papishtam Samshayam, how do you remove that? How do you destroy it? By Jnanasina, by the sword of knowledge. Shoka Mohadi Dosha Haram, the destroyer of Shoka Mohadi Doshanam, Ashoka Dosha Mohadi Dosham Harati, Iti, Upapada Samasa. Shoka Mohadi is Bhagavad. Shoka Mohado, Shoka Moho Ado, Eshamte Shoka Mohadayaha, Shoka Mohadayaha Eva Doshaha, Shoka Mohadi Doshaha, Shoka Mohadi Doshan Harati, that is Samyak Darshanam, that is Jnanam, clear vision, clear understanding. Darshanam is seeing, from the Drish Dhatu. Seeing is understanding. That's expression we use in English also. Do you see it? Means do you understand it? Darshanam is seeing. That's why Darshanam, Darshanani, we have Astika Darshanam, Nastika Darshanam, the vision of the truth. It's called Darshanam. So Drishdhatu, Yut, Pratyaya, Darshanam, vision, philosophy. But here Samyak Darshanam is clear understanding. That is Jnanam. Tadeva Asiki, that is the Asiki, that is a sword, that is the Kadgaha. Kadga is sword. Asiki also, same meaning. Pashakara gives equivalent word. Asiki is equal to Kadgaha. Tena, by that. Jnanasina Atmanaha Swasya. Atmanaha is there in the shloka. Atmanaha is Swasya with regard to oneself. With regard to Atma. With regard to self. Swasya is with regard to self. Jnanasina, by the sword of knowledge, destroy. One should destroy. So, why? Because Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. Because Atma Vishayatvat, subject matter being the Atma, therefore the Samshayasya. Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya, therefore Atmanaha Swasya Jnanasina Hridisitam Ajnana Sambhutam Jnanasina, by the sword of knowledge to be cut. Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. Vishaya, the subject matter. Because here the subject matter being Atma. With regard to that, there is samshaya, there is doubt. Therefore, Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. Samshaya with regard to the Atma being the subject matter. Therefore, Atmanaha is equal to Swasya. Atmanaha Swasya. Atmanaha Swasya. Samshayam, doubt, Shitva, having cut. Jnanasina, by the sword of knowledge, which is the Samshaya, which is located in the Hridi, Buddho Stitam, Ajnana Sambhutam, Papishtam, Samshayam, Chitva, Iti. Then the next line, which we read. Why he says Swasya, Bhashakara explains. That is how the Vashyam is. Sutrartho varnyate yatra vakyi sutranukaribhiki swapadani cha varnyante. Bhashyam bhashyavido viduhu. That is the definition of Bhashyam. Bhashyakara himself explains the word what he uses to interpret the Mula. Mula is the shlokam here, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, whatever it is. He uses certain words to explain. And he explains the word what he uses also. So here he used the word Swasya. Why does he use the word swasya? What is the meaning of the word swasya? Why does he use that? He says here, nahi parasya samshayah parena chetavyatam praptah yena swasya iti vishesh yeta. Parasya samshaya means the doubt of another person. Chetavyatam dhatu is chidir dhatu, dvaidi karane. Chetavyata, chetavyaha should be destroyed. The status of being destroyed, chetavyatam praptaha parena, chetavyatam praptaha. The doubt of another person doesn't enjoy the status of being removed. Doesn't enjoy the status of removing. Parena praptaha na praptaha. The doubt of another person, parasya samshaya. Para means another, anyasya. The doubt of another person cannot have the status of being removed by someone else. Parena na praptaha. If you have doubt, you have to remove it. The doubt of another person cannot be removed by another person. Right? So therefore swasya, the word is used. Yena swasya iti visheshyeta. Yena, because of which the word swasya, oneself, the doubt with regard to oneself, one's own doubt, visheshyeta is specified. The word swasya is specified. Yena is etau tritiya. Why Bhashyakara says swasya? Yena, because of the reason. What is the reason? Parasya samshaya parena chetavyatam na praptaha. The doubt of a person cannot be removed by the other person. One has to remove the doubt by oneself. Even the teacher can teach only, but the student has to understand. The student has to work to remove the ajnanam, work for moksha. Teacher cannot do. So therefore, that's why here, yena is a hetu tritiya, the reason, cause for using the reason for using the word swasya, yena, swasya iti visheshyeta, it is specified, the word swasya is specified. Parasya samshayah parena chettavyata na praptaha. Swasya samshayah svena eva chetavyatam praptaha. So by here, Vitireka is given. That's an Anvaya we have to understand. Parasya samshayah, the doubt of another person, parena by another person, different person, chetavyatam removal, na praptaha. Na praptaha, it is na praptaha, it is chetavyatam na praptaha. Doesn't it's not chetavyatam, the status of being removed is not gained by another person. It means swasya samshayah svena eva chetavyatam praptaha. One's doubt is to be removed by oneself. That is why swasya, the word is the atmanaha is equal to swasya. Why atma vishayatva samshayasya? Samshaya being the subject matter being the atma. Vishaya is atma. Therefore, atma vishayatva samshaya, because the samshaya is with regard to oneself. Therefore, atmanaha swasya samshayam chitva jnanasina iti. Then the next line, ataha, therefore, atma vishaya api swasya eva bhavati. Bhashyakara says, yes, atma vishaya swasya eva bhavati. Tato parasya swasya vishaya eva, the doubt which is regarding the atma is one's own only. I don't have the doubt, or I don't bother whether you have doubt with regard to atma with yourself. Why should I bother about that? I have doubt. The doubt is regarding the atma. That is my doubt. Your doubt is with you. So therefore, atma vishayaha, atmanaha vishaya, atma vishaya, the doubt regarding the atma is one's own only, one's own doubt only. Therefore, chitva enam samshayam, this doubt, having cut this doubt, Why? Swavinasha hetu bhutam. It is because it is self-destructive. Bhashikara, Bhagavan said before, Samshayatma vinashyati. That Bhashikara rephrases, Swavinasha hetu bhutam. It is the cause for Swavinasha, one's own destruction. The doubt destroys oneself. Doubting Thomas perishes. Swavinasha hetu bhutam samshayam chitva. Having cut this doubt, which is the cause for one's own destruction, yogam samyak darshanasya upayam. The upaya, the means for samyak darshanam, that is jnanam, the clear vision of Atma. Samyak, for that upaya, what is upaya? Yoga is upaya. What is that yoga? Karma anushtanam. Because through karma yoga only you get the pakvata for gaining jnanam. Therefore, first you remove the ashuddhi, which is in the form of raga, devesha, etc. So therefore, samyak darshanupayam is karma anushtanam. Samyak darshana upayam yogam karma anushtanam, that is Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam, which is karma for atishta. Yogam is yujyate purushaha anena yiti yogaha. That which connects a person to the goal, to the purushartha, moksha purushartha. That is called yoga. Here it is. Yujyate, the means by which the person is connected to one's artha purushartha. That is called yoga. And that is sadhanam, the yoga sadhanam, that is karma anushtanam, that is upaya for samyak darshanam, that is a means for gaining the right knowledge, that is jnanam, jnanam is moksha. Therefore, atishta, may you take up to, atishta is equal to kuru. Ityartha, Bhashikara says kuru, atishta, kuru, do. You do yoga. You do yoga means it is karma. Karma anushtanam kuru. So in keeping with your varna and ashrama and the situation in life, you do the karma which have to be done. Therefore, kuru ityartaha. And the swavinasha heta bhutam, that is the samshaya, which is the cause for one's own destruction, the spiritual destruction. Not only spiritual destruction, even with regard to gaining the prayers also. Prayers, dharma, artha, kama also. It is an obstacle. If the person is a doubting Thomas, then he would not be able to gain dharma purushartha or kama purushartha or artha purushartha. He will be deprived of the purusharthas which are gainable in this loka. That is swavinasha hetu bhutam. So he will be deprived of both spiritual as well as material wealth. Both. Swavinasha hetu bhutam. And it is all the more required for spiritual pursuit, karma yoga. Therefore, may you destroy the doubt with regard to karma yoga and jnana yoga. Be clear about the karma, the order, the scheme of things, and therefore you take up to karma. Iti Bhagavataha Upadeshaha. Uttishta, the last line, Uttishta, get up, rise. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Praptya Varan Nibodata. Uttishta, Idani Yuddhaya Bharata. Now it's time to fight. Yuddhaya, Uttishta, stand up for what? Stand up for listening to, or stand up for going to Rishikesh and then taking sannyasa. No. Yuddhaya, stand up and take up your weapon for fighting. Yuddhaya he Bharata iti. And Bharata, Sambodhana also is important. Right place using the right Sambodhana. Bharata Vamshakula. And Bharata Vamsha is famous for all the warriors. Great warriors are there. Bhishma and starting. Bhishma is right in front. And so many warriors were there before. So by saying Bharata, so that invokes the Kshatriyatvam. He's a Kshatriya. It invokes that. That's war spirit in Arjuna. Therefore, hey Bharata, iti Bhagavan addresses Arjuna. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, okay, last line let us read. Iti Srimad Paramahamsa, that is missing. Iti Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyasya.
इति श्रीमत्परमहंसपरिव्राजकाचार्यस्य
Shri Govinda Bhagavad Pujya Pada Shishyasya.
श्रीगोविन्द भगवत्पूज्यपादशिष्यस्य
Srimad Shankara Bhagavataha Krito.
श्रीमद्शङ्कर भगवतः कृतौ
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhashye Chaturthodhyayah.
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीताभाष्ये चतुर्थोऽध्यायः
Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyah. Acharyah Parivrajakacharyah. Acharya is a disciple of Govinda Bhagavad Pada, therefore Govinda Bhagavad Pujya Padasya Shishyas, Pujya Pada Shishyasya, Shankaracharyasya, Parivrajakacharyasya, Shankaracharyasya. Bhagavataha is Bhagavan. Bhagavataha Krito, commented, written by Shankara Bhagavad Pada, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhashye, Bhagavataha, Gita Bhagavad Gita, Gitayam, Bhagavad Gita Bhashye. Bhagavad Gita Yaha Bhashyam, Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, Tasyam, Tasya, Tasmin, in that Chaturtaha Adhyayaha Parisamaptaha, fourth chapter is concluded. Samaptaha, the word is not, Iti tells you. Iti tells you it is concluded. Iti. Sometimes it is, the conclusion is repeated by Vipsa, by repetition. 2 times will be there, like in Mundaka Upanishad. Namah Paramarishibhyaha, Raf Paramarishibhyaha. Otherwise, iti. Iti denotes the conclusion. Now let us read Gita Priya Bhodhini. Yada Brahmavittamaha Jnana Sanchinna Samshayatvad Yoga Sanyasta Sarva Karma San Karma Bandha Vinirmuktaha Tata Tomapi Jnana Sanchinna Samshayaha Bhutva Yoga Sanyasta Karma San Karma Nishtaha Bhavat Karma Nishtaha Bhavet Iti Aha Bhavet Iti Aha Bhavetyaha Bhavet Aha Bhavet Iti. So Brahmavittamaha Brahmaveti iti Brahmavit Tamaha superlative Brahmavittamaha Brahmavit Variyan. There are some gradations among the knowers of Brahma. Not in terms of Jnanam. The Sapta Bhumikas are there. Anyway, that is a different topic. So Brahmavittamaha is Brahmavit, we can take the knower of Brahma. Jnana Samchinna Samshayatvat. Jnanena Samshayaha Chinnaha. Samshayatvat. The status of removal of the samshaya by jnana. Tasmat. So yoga sannyasta sarva karma, referring to the person, is sannyasta, he has given up all the karma by yoga. So by removing the doubts, destroying the doubts by jnanam, he has given up all the karma. That is jnana karma sannyasa. Sanyasta sarva karmani sanyastani yena saha, by jnanam. By jnanena samshaya sanchina samshayatvat. Therefore, yoga sannyasta karma, this is jnana karma sannyasa, referring to the person. Sanyasta sarva karma, sun being. Therefore, karma bandha nirmuktaha is free from the bondage of karma. Yata, as similarly, tata, you also, you Tomapi, hey Arjuna, you also, Jnana Sanchina Samshaya Bhutva, you also like the Brahma with Jnanena Sanchinaha Samshaya Bhutva, being by Jnanam, destroying all the doubts. Yoga Sanyasta Sarva, Yoga Sanyasta Karma, San Karmanishtaha Bhavetitiyaha. You also become Jnana Sanyasta, Yoga Sanyasta Karma. Also become San, Yoga Sanyasta Karma and Karmanishtaha. Karmani Nishta. Karmanishta. Yasyasaha Karmanishtaha. You also be a Karmanishta. Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi Bhava. तस्मादज्ञान संभूतम हृष्टम ज्ञानासीनात्मनः चित्वैरं संशयं योगम आतिष्ठो तिष्ठ भारत इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां चतुर्थः अध्यायः तस्मादिति यस्मात् संशयवान् तद्दोषेण एव I think that's a typo तद्दोषेण एव कर्म ज्ञान योग योगो अन्यतर प्रवृत्ति अनुपपत्या स्वयं उभय भ्रष्टः भवति तस्मात् ए भारत because samshayavan the person who doubts the doubting person tad doshena by that very dosha is samshaya is a dosha karma jnana yoga yogo anyatara pravritti anupapatya between karma and jnanam karma jnana yoga yogo karma yoga and jnana yoga between the two anyatara pravritti anupapatya you have choice over karma and jnana. Do you have choice? There is no choice between karma and jnana. Bhagavan doesn't give choice. You can take up karma or you can take jnana. It means karma also becomes a means for moksha, direct means, and jnanam also direct means of moksha. Bhagavan did not say that is not the teaching. All paths do not lead to the same goal. This is something very difficult to digest, but that is true. All the yoga, any yoga, whatever you do, that may give you the antakarna shuddhi. It prepares you for jnanam. It gives you jnana yogyata. But moksha is only by jnanam. For jnanam, one has to take up jnana yoga in the form of shravanam, mananam, vidyasram, studying the shastra, tad vidhi pranipatena, pariprashtena sevaya, upadekshanti te jnanam, jnaninas tattva darshinaha. That is only means. Therefore, anyatara pravritti anupapatti means either jnana yoga or karma yoga. Pravritti, you can take up either karma yoga or jnana yoga. That is anupapatti, that is not tenable. There is no upapatti. We don't have choice with regard to karma and jnana. You are already a prepared person, adhikari, then jnanam. You have taken up to the spiritual pursuit now, not yet prepared in karma. Karma yoga gives you the pakvata, gives you preparation. Then that karma is parampara karanam, jnanam is sakshat karanam, mokshaya. Therefore, there is no either or. This confusion is everyone gets, and Arjuna, of course, he had, and therefore here in the Gita it's made very clear, and there are shlokas which confusing, seemingly confusing, not really. You should not say confused, seemingly. That's why it very clearly says karma jnana yogo anyatara means either karma or jnana. Pravritti, engaging, is anupapatti, not tenable. You don't have choice, either or this, either karma or jnanam. No. First is karma, followed by jnana yoga, then jnana yogena jnanam, jnanena moksha, or jnanam eva moksha. That is the karma, that is the order. Therefore, swayam ubaya brashtaha bhavati. You slip from both. If you have a choice, you take to your wish anyone, then you lose both. Therefore, hey Bharata, because of doubt, samshayavan swayam ubaya brashtaha bhavati, it slips from the path of yoga. Therefore, hey Bharata, Tvam Ajnana Sambhutam, born of Ajnanam, Swasya Avikriya Brahmatva Adarshana Lakshanam Yat Ajnanam. Ajnanam is, Ajnana Sambhutam is, Vashakara explains what is Ajnana Sambhutam. Yat Ajnanam, that is Ajnanam is Swasya Avikriya Brahmatva Adarshana Lakshanam. Not seeing, not seeing, not understanding, not having the vision of that Aham Atma Brahma Avikriyaha iti. The Brahmatma is myself, and that is Avikriyaha, not subject to. Cannot, it is actionless. Avikriyaha is actionless. It means no karma. It cannot do karma, and it cannot become the object of karma for any kriya also. Avikriyaha Atma. Swasya Yat Ajnanam, that Ajnanam, because one takes oneself to be Karta. How can Atma be a Karta? If Atma is taken to be Karta, that is Ajnanam. That's why Avikriya. If Atma is Karta, all other Karakas will gain Satyatvam. Because Atma is Satya, then Kartatvam also Satyam. Now all the Karakas also will gain Satyatvam. Then everything is Satya. Then everything become real. Then Samsara is real. Then moksha is not real then. All the doshas will creep in. Therefore, Swasya Avikriya. Swasya is Swasya, oneself, Atma, Brahmatma, which is Avikriya. That is not seen, that is not understood, because that is called Ajnanam, Yata Ajnanam. Tasmadeva Sambhuta Atmanaha Swasya Tasmadeva. Therefore, Sambhuta, that Atmanaha Sambhuta, with regard to Atma Sambhuta, which is born, what? Samshaya, Swasya, of oneself, and that is Hristam, where it is located, Hridaya, Chittagatam, Chitte, it is in the Chitta, Chittagatam, which is in the Chitta, that is Chittam is the mind, the Antakaranam, and that Samshayam, Hristam, Chittagatam, Hristam is equal to Chittagatam, Chittagatam, located in the Chitta, and that is Samshaya. Tasmad Samshayam, Moksha Sadhanam, Samshaya is Moksha Sadhanam Jnanam va Anyatva. The means for moksha is Jnanam or anything else. That is Samshaya. Or Jnanam cha Paroksham va Aparoksham va. Jnanam, is it Paroksha Jnanam or Aparoksha Jnanam? Or Jnanena Avidya Tatkaryanam Nishesha Nivrittihi Astiva Nava Ityadi Lakshanam Sandeham. That is Samshaya. By Jnana, Avidya and all its products without any leftover. Nishesha is completely. Nivritti, destruction. Does it happen or not? Va Nava Ityadi Lakshanam Sandeham, the doubt which is in the form of all this, they are destroyed by what? Jnanena eva. Jnanasina, by Jnana Asi, the sword of knowledge. The Jnanam which is Brahma eva aham iti. Aham Brahma asmi iti, that is the Jnanam. Swasya Nirvikare Atma, which is Nirvikara, Advitiye, Pare Brahmani eva Atma Pratyaha. The Pratyaya, Atma Pratyaya is Bauddhaha Pratyaha Uchyante iti, we saw in Kenopanishad. Brahmani eva Atma Pratyaha. Brahmani eva Atma Pratyaha. Pratyaya means thoughts. Pratyaya means vritti. Atma vritti ityartaha. Because Jnanam is only the form of vritti. Vritti Jnanam. Vritti Jnanam, Jnana vritti removes Ajnana vritti. So Atma Pratyaya means Atma Jnanam, and that is Apratibaddaha, which is free from any obstruction. Tadeva Asahi, that is a sword. Tena eva, by that. Nirukta Lakshanam Samshayam Atmanashakam Chitva. By that sword, the Samshayam, which is a cause, which is a self-destroyer. So that Chitva, having cut, Uttishta, Vyuttaya, having gotten up. Yogam, that is Karma Yogam, Atishta, Samachara, Samik Achara, you performed karma very well. Yudhyasva, you fight. Ityartaha. इति श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रीमत् आनंद आत्म सरस्वती शिष्य श्री शंकरानंद सरस्वती कृतो गीता तात्पर्य बोधिन्यां चतुर्थः अध्यायः। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। धन्यवादः।
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.
धन्यवाद।